Vaessen and Chow Suu say they were just doing their job. The journalists were investigating the death of 10 Rohingya men in Rakhine State last December, when police officers invited them to dinner. They soon discovered what was really on the menu. They say they arrived, were handed some documents and were put under arrest shortly after. The journalists of the news agency Reuters are now charged with breaching the Official Secrets Act dating back to 1923, after a pre-trial that lasted 6 months.
We didn't commit any crime. What I would like to say in relation to the court's decision today is that we will not give up. The court's decision is not the decision that we are guilty. Even though we are charged, we are not guilty. We have an opportunity to defend ourselves. In the upcoming sessions we will testify to our innocence. We will not tremble before the charges laid on us.
The charges led to condemnation worldwide and are seen as a test for press freedom in Myanmar.
You have had evidence introduced which effectively said that the case against the two journalists, Vaessen and Jaw Suu, was a put-up, that the police intentionally handed them documents precisely so they could arrest them and charge them under the Official Secrets Act. By any international measure of judicial process, it's been a farce so far, right? It's been a travesty of justice.
The government of Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi is facing international condemnation after a military crackdown on the Rohingya minority that the UN has called textbook ethnic cleansing. It is estimated that thousands were killed. More than 700,000 have fled to Bangladesh. In a recent interview, Aung San Suu Kyi denied the case against the two journalists is connected to their investigation into the killings of Rohingya. When Aung San Suu Kyi won the elections 3 years ago, media in Myanmar turned from one of the most restricted in Asia to one of the freest. But these new freedoms didn't last long. Rights groups say that now media in Myanmar have become another victim of the crackdown against the Rohingya minority. The Committee to Protect Journalists has recorded cases of violence, arrest and intimidation of journalists in Myanmar in the past year. Several were charged with the telecommunications law that carries a maximum penalty of 3 years in prison and can be used by anyone who feels insulted by a publication. The trial against the Reuters journalist is expected to last several weeks. Vaessen, Al Jazeera, Bangkok.